The mocked warship, in the vastness of space, the galaxy was ruled by speed and power. The fastest, deadliest warships controlled the stars. Fleets raced across light years in moments, striking with overwhelming force before the enemy could react. Among them, one ship stood out, but not for its speed or strength. It was slow, bulky, and old-fashioned. The ship was called the Ironclad. Many laughed at it. Other fleets called it a relic, a joke, even a liability. The Ironclad was heavier and slower than any other warship in the galaxy. Its engines emitted a deep, slow roar instead of the quick hum of modern vessels. Enemies mocked it openly. Captain Jax, the Ironclad's commander, was a quiet man with simple hopes. He knew the ship's flaws, but also its hidden strengths. The Ironclad was built not for speed, but for endurance. It could take hits others could not survive and keep fighting. Most in the galaxy didn't believe endurance mattered anymore. The Ironclad's first mission was a patrol near the mining colonies on the edge of human space. The other fleets thought the slow ship was a waste of resources. They joked it would never catch a real enemy. But then strange reports began to come in. Alien raiders, fast, aggressive fighters, were attacking the colonies. They moved swiftly, hitting hard and disappearing before defenses could respond. The Ironclad was sent to stop them. When the raiders saw the Ironclad approaching, they laughed too. A slow ship could never catch them. But Captain Jax had a plan. Ironclad moved steadily toward the raiders' hideout. It didn't try to chase or outrun. Instead, it used its powerful shields and heavy armor to withstand attacks while slowly closing the distance. The raiders fired with all their weapons, confident they could break the slow ship quickly. But their beams bounced off the Ironclad's reinforced hull. One by one, the raiders found themselves trapped by the Ironclad's relentless approach. With a massive cannon blast, the Ironclad destroyed the raiders' main ship. The others fled, in fear. News of the Ironclad's victory spread quickly. The galaxy began to whisper. Maybe this slow human warship was more dangerous than anyone thought. Captain Jax didn't celebrate. He knew this was only the beginning. The Ironclad's real test was still ahead. The rising threat word of the Ironclad's unexpected victory spread fast across the galaxy. Once mocked, now many fleets began to see the slow human warship as a serious threat. Rumors flew that it was nearly indestructible and carried firepower that could destroy much faster ships. Captain Jax and his crew knew the attention was only growing. Enemy forces would no longer ignore the Ironclad. They would hunt it. The next mission was no longer a simple patrol. The Galactic Council ordered a full fleet to assault a key human colony threatened by a powerful alien armada. The Ironclad was sent to lead the defense. As the alien fleet approached, their commanders mocked the slow warship once more. "It's a sitting target," one sneered. "We'll crush it before it moves an inch." But Captain Jax was calm. He gathered his crew in the war room, explaining their plan. "We may be slow, but we are steady. Our strength is endurance and strategy. We will outlast them. We will make them regret underestimating us." The battle began. The alien ships attacked, with speed and precision. Their lasers sliced through the void, hitting human ships fast and hard. Many vessels were destroyed early on, but the Ironclad held firm. Its shields absorbed wave after wave of attacks. Its heavy cannons fired slow but powerful shots, each one landing with crushing force. Jax's tactics were methodical. He used the ship's size and armor to block enemy fire, protect smaller human ships, and counterattack when openings appeared. The battle raged for hours, longer than most thought possible. Finally, the alien flagship was heavily damaged by a massive Ironclad, blast and forced to retreat. The human colony was saved. For the first time, many saw that speed was not everything. The slow human warship was no longer a joke. It was a nightmare waiting to strike. The unbreakable shield. The victory at the colony gave humanity hope, but it also brought new dangers. The enemy was not one to accept defeat easily. They studied the Ironclad carefully and soon developed a new weapon, one designed specifically to break through its legendary defenses. Captain Jax received urgent orders. The Ironclad would face this weapon in an upcoming battle near the asteroid fields of Arden Prime. The stakes were higher than ever. As the Ironclad and its fleet approached, the enemy deployed their new weapon, a massive beam cannon capable of piercing even the strongest shields. The beam struck the Ironclad with devastating force. The hull shook, alarms blared, and power flickered. For the first time, the ship's shields were cracked, but Captain Jax remained steady. "Hold your ground," he ordered. "This ship was built to endure. We fight as one." The crew worked tirelessly to repair the damage while keeping the Ironclad, moving slowly but surely. Jax directed smaller human fighters to flank the enemy, distracting their weapons and buying time for the Ironclad to recover. Then, Jax unleashed a bold move. He ordered the Ironclad to close in slowly, moving through the enemy's firing arcs like a slow-moving fortress. With every step, the Ironclad's powerful guns blasted enemy ships at close range. The beam cannon fired again and again, but each time. The Ironclad absorbed the blow and pushed forward. Finally, the enemy's weapon overheated and shut down. The tide turned. The human fleet seized the moment, pressing their attack and forcing the enemy to retreat. The Ironclad's endurance and Captain Jax's leadership had won the day. The slow human warship was no longer just dangerous. It was unstoppable. The hidden threat. After the battle near Arden Prime, Captain Jax and his crew knew the enemy wouldn't give up easily. The slow but powerful Ironclad had forced them to rethink their tactics. The war was far from over. Reports came in from scouts, strange movements in the shadowed regions of space. The enemy was building something new, something hidden from all sensors. Captain Jax called his officers to the war room. "We have faced their weapons, their fleets. Now they are planning something we don't yet understand." The enemy's new strategy was clear: use deception and stealth to bypass the Ironclad's strength. They deployed small, fast attack squads, striking where the big ship couldn't reach quickly. The Ironclad's slow speed was a weakness in open space now, but Jax was not discouraged. He ordered the crew to upgrade their sensors and prepare for guerrilla-style combat. The Ironclad would no longer rely only on endurance, it would adapt. In the following weeks, the slow warship hunted enemy squads, using its armor to survive sudden attacks while its crew responded with precision strikes. During one mission, the Ironclad discovered a secret enemy base hidden inside an asteroid field. It was the heart of the enemy's stealth operations. Jax planned a bold attack. With careful maneuvering, the Ironclad entered the asteroid field, moving slowly, but with purpose. The enemy tried to ambush, but Jax's crew anticipated their moves. The battle inside the asteroid field was fierce and chaotic. Explosions lit the dark space as the Ironclad smashed through the base's defenses. Finally, the base was destroyed. The enemy's stealth threat was weakened, but the war was still raging. Captain Jax knew the slow human warship had survived because it never gave up, no matter the odds. The unexpected ally as the war dragged on, supplies and morale were stretched thin. Just when Captain Jax feared the slow warship might be overwhelmed, an unexpected signal arrived. A message from a distant alien race known as the Varith. The Varith were once enemies of humanity, but they now offered a truce and aid against the common foe. Their ships were swift and their technology advanced, promising an advantage humanity desperately needed. Captain Jax was cautious. "Why help us now?" he asked during a council meeting. "What do they want in return, the Varith ambassador responded. "Our enemies threaten us all. We seek peace and survival, but we understand trust is earned." Jax agreed to accept their help but kept his crew on alert. With Varith ships joining the human fleet, the tide began to turn. Their speed complemented the Ironclad's endurance. Together they launched coordinated strikes against enemy strongholds. However, during a joint mission, Jax noticed strange behavior among some Varith ships, movements that suggested secretive communication and unexplained detours. He confided in his second-in-command, Mira. "We must watch them closely. Allies or not, we cannot afford betrayal." Despite suspicions, the alliance held strong. The enemy was pushed back, losing key territories. But the question remained: Was the Varith's aid truly selfless, or was it a shadow hiding a deeper game? Captain Jax prepared for what might come next. Trust would be tested, and the slow human warship's greatest battle was yet to come. The betrayal, the alliance between humanity and the Varith, had brought hope, but it also brought shadows. During a critical battle near the nebula of Eryx, the Varith suddenly withdrew their ships without warning, leaving human forces exposed. The enemy seized the chance, launching a fierce counterattack. Captain Jax was furious. He confronted the Varith commander during a tense meeting aboard the Ironclad. "Why? Did you abandon us?" Jax demanded. The commander's eyes were cold. "Our interests come first. We never promised loyalty." Betrayed and outnumbered, the human fleet suffered heavy losses. The enemy exploited the chaos, pushing deeper into human space. But Captain Jax refused to surrender. He rallied his remaining ships and pushed forward with fierce determination. The slow warship, battered but unbroken, became a symbol of resilience. Jax sent a warning across the galaxy. Trust is earned through action, not words. We fight not just for survival, but for our future. The betrayal exposed painful truths, but also united many more species against the common enemy. Humanity and its true allies prepared for one final battle, the fight that would decide the fate of the galaxy. The legend of the Ironclad. The galaxy was on edge. The final battle loomed, and Captain Jax knew this fight would decide everything. His ship, the slow and heavily armored Ironclad, stood as the last hope against overwhelming enemy forces. As fleets clashed among the stars, the Ironclad moved steadily into the heart of the battle. Its engines roared with a deep, steady pulse, like a heartbeat in the void. The enemy fired relentlessly, but the Ironclad's shields held strong. Captain Jax commanded with calm precision, guiding his crew through waves of attacks and counterattacks. The Ironclad's cannons unleashed devastating blasts, crippling enemy ships one by one. Despite its slow speed, it was unstoppable, an immovable fortress in space. In the midst of chaos, Jax led a daring strike on the enemy flagship. The battle was fierce, with explosions lighting the dark void. Finally, with a massive shot, the Ironclad shattered the enemy command ship's core. Without their leader, the enemy fleet faltered and retreated. Victory was theirs. The galaxy celebrated a new legend, the slow human warship that no one believed in, but became their worst nightmare. Captain Jax looked up at the stars, proud not just of the ship, but of humanity's spirit. The Ironclad had proved that strength was not just speed or power, but endurance, courage, and heart. The story of the Ironclad would be told for generations, reminding all that sometimes the slowest ship carries the greatest power.